Normally when you want to do something, you have this sensation of fear, doubt, uncertainty. You don't know what to do. You think that you're not good for it, that you suck sometimes for the things that you want to do. So if you feel those sensations, actually this podcast is going to help you, because we've been there, we've done it, and we still feel it sometimes. But the thing is that we don't stop feeling it, we just take action.
Welcome to the Magic of Change, the podcast to share new perspective, ideas, advice, to embrace the only constant and magic thing in life, change. We are Lina and Mauro Trujillo from Empower for Change.
Okay, this is a moment that is really special because we have the chance to innovate more than ever, because all the changes that are happening right now, we are looking to new ways to redefine ourselves, to redefine the things that we want to do. And actually, it's a moment to think about the skills that we have, because it's probably the time to take them out and do something.
Yeah, this is definitely a moment that is inviting us to reshape the forms that we are used to have, to redefine who we are, what we want to do. Perhaps your situation has been disrupted, or you see around you everything changing. This is the proper moment to connect with your entrepreneurial mindset. Now, when we talk here about entrepreneurship, we are not only talking about the possibilities to open or starting a new business. We are talking really like about to be an entrepreneur is to take the risk, is to undertake new adventures. You can be an entrepreneur when you are relocating. You can have an entrepreneurial mindset even if you have a job. You can be an entrepreneur for new endeavors. You can be an entrepreneur because on the weekends you love to build stuff in your garage. Mm-hmm. So definitely we just wanted to frame what we meant about entrepreneurial mindset. Every time that we face a situation that is inviting us to change or that is forcing us to change, we normally become creative and come with these awesome new ideas that we can have in the back of our minds, of course. And we think about all the things that we are good at, or we think that we are good at, and we come with this new idea, and there is like this positive vibe of new possibilities, new chances, new opportunities. And then, for whatever reason, we look at the mirror. Sometimes you not even need to look at the mirror. And what happens is that your inner judge take a seat in front of you. And immediately after you share with her or with him your plans, he's like, that is not gonna happen, because you don't know how to do that, because you don't have what it takes. You cannot take those risks. So just forget about it, you know? At least this is the dialogue that has happened to me, and I'm sure that I'm not the only one feeling these kind of things and having these kind of dialogues every time that I want to undertake a new adventure. But it could be something small as well as something huge. What we are talking here and what we are sharing with you guys is that this inner dialogue that happens with our inner judge is all the time like that. And what it happens is that it starts taking place, and we hear more the inner judge so much. It speaks so loud that after a while, we cannot even hear our own voice. And at the end, we start believing what he or she is telling us.
The journey of the entrepreneur is going to be always filled with that self-doubt and fear of the new, of the unknown, of the risks, of the outcomes that we might get. But actually, we have the chance to silence that inner judge a little when we take action and when we start doing things. And there's something more that creates a lot of uncertainty, and that is that we're constantly looking to other people's success. So you see this phrase that the neighbor's grass is always greener, and actually we always see the result. You never think what is behind that result that you see.
Yeah.
You don't think that maybe he's just an old guy, maybe he retired and right now he just decided to take care of his lawn. And the thing is that he has all day, or she, maybe it's a girl or a woman, she has all day or he has all day to just take care of that. But you only see that the grass is greener. You don't see the amount of effort that is on that grass. Now, how is this related to you? You cannot have your grass that green because actually you have to work, you have kids, you have a lot of things to do, so you cannot compare that success or that result with your situation. So every time you want to see someone that has something that you like, it's good that you see the result, of course. That can motivate you. But actually you have to see behind that to see what's the journey of that entrepreneur. The things that he or she did and still do, because there is where you see the secret. They also feared and had doubts, but they took action.
So, what happens when the inner judge takes over you? Well, basically, at the beginning, once you have the idea, immediately it will be triggered to tell you, don't do it. Don't do it. You are safer where you are. Then, if you are brave enough to say, you know what, I really want to do this. So I want to take action. And you start, or you try to start, what is going to happen is that then he's going to invite you to self-doubt. He's going to tell you, you suck at this. You know you suck at this. Don't do it. You will be ridiculed. Everybody's going to make fun of you. Why you want to do this? You suck at this. And so then you are like, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I shouldn't try this. Or what is going to happen is that it's going to tell you, okay, let's make it happen. I'm on board. And then, but you know what? After you feed the kids, or Saturday afternoon, or next Monday, and you start procrastinating. Whenever you feel something like that is happening to you, don't be hard. You are not the only one feeling this. I promise you. This is like a common thread with every person that is having an entrepreneurial mindset and is trying to break the comfort zone.
And actually, if you think about it, most of the times we are having that conversation because that inner judge is trying to keep us safe.
Yeah.
And the way to express that safety environment that we should have, according to him, is that we have to have fear, have this fear of failure maybe, or of losing something that we already have, or fear of the new. And it's just that, no, just stay safe. Just stay here. You know this. You can control this. But if you move, and if you start doing things that you don't even know, well, you're going to lose control. And you're going to get to a point that you don't want to get. But you know what? You never know where you're going to get until you do something. And again, you don't compare your success with other people's success. And this is something that we do all the time, especially now that we have access to social media. You're constantly looking for people that has some kind of success, whatever that means for you, or in your industry, or in the things that you want to change. Let's say that you want to improve your relationship. Maybe you want to move to another country. Maybe you want to walk your dog more and you're looking for information to do that. So all those actions are just a way to do something new and explore. But every time you feel fear, or you feel doubt, or you have this uncertainty, that's an invitation to move on. Okay, write down what you feel. Write down, I cannot do this, and write down what you cannot do and read it again, because you will see that you're writing, always thinking in the future. You're thinking about things that
Yeah.
haven't happened yet,
Yeah.
or you're thinking about something that happened before and you're not that person anymore.
And because what you are saying reminds me of the basic definition of fear: a worry about a situation, imaginary or real, that could harm us. Can you believe that, guys? Imaginary or real. That means that even if it's unreal, we are going to feel that. So, where does this come from? Where the fear of failure or the fear of losing or the fear of the new does come from? Let's imagine a little girl or a little boy in the park. You went out with your parents and you are super excited because you wanted to play so much and the day is beautiful. He's super high that he starts calling mom and dad. Hey, mom, look at me. Dad, look at me. Hey. And, they are ignoring him because they are very much into their own world. Once any of them notice the girl or the boy, they tell her, baby, we are talking, please not now. And so what happened with that little girl? She feels ashamed because she was interrupting. And perhaps just that is the beginning of this sensation of I cannot express how much energy or how much happiness I feel. Because every time that I'm going to tell this, perhaps I'm going to be interrupting somebody else, or they're going to be too busy to listen to me. What we want you to consider over here is to really take care and listen to that voice. We gotta pay attention to that inner dialogue. We gotta know, what is my inner judge telling me? And when Mauro tells you write down, it's because when we write down and we read our own words, we have a distance. And so the level of understanding, when we challenge ourselves, like to write down, I can't do that, then ask yourself, why? Why you think you can't? Well, because I really don't know how to do it. Okay. Could you develop the skills that you need to do that? And if the answer is yeah, okay, then move on.
So there's two forces here. There is one that is your inner Josh trying to push you back, to hold you, okay? And there's another one which is your higher self. You're conscious of abundance.
Your full potential.
We have access to everything. That spiritual and emotional, that connection with everything, with the universe. That part is saying you have everything to do whatever you want to do. So you have these two forces fighting. And actually you're listening to this podcast actually because maybe you feel that you want to do something, that you've been pushing for so long, that activity, that project, that idea that you have, that business plan, that trip, that song that you want to write. There's so many things that you have the chance to undertake, but you're still pushing them away because you're disconnected with your purpose, with your inner magic. Especially right now, this is just a moment when everything just stopped and we have the chance to say, okay, why do I want to do? It's time to reconnect. And if you're feeling that fear and everything is normal, that's the most important thing here. That is a normal situation. What is not normal is that we stay there. You have to move on.
Studies have shown that many entrepreneurs, this is a common trait in many entrepreneurs. And whenever we are facing fears that involves monetary situations, like having the resources, the economical resources, getting funding, or starting and then being able to stay on the marketplace to be sustainable, any of those fears related to monetary issues, for instance, those are cases where it's easily overcome. Instead, whenever we are talking about deeper levels of fear that involves personal emotions, the studies have proven that whenever the entrepreneur is feeling self-doubt and fear of the capabilities and fears or of having the will and the power to do something, whenever we are talking about internal limiting beliefs, the chances to failure are bigger. Why? Because our inner judge is way more powerful than what you could believe.
We wanna talk a little about our own experience. And actually, for me, I don't know for Lina, but for me, one of the decisions that we took that was a game changer, I think, a life changer, was 7 years ago. I was like around 2014, because, okay, we met in Cali, we traveled South America, we then went to Spain to live in Barcelona, and we were so happy there. We loved the city, but Lina got like a issue on her spine, like a hernia, and we needed to come back to Colombia for getting hair surgery, because in Spain it was not possible. And from one day to another, we just changed completely our life. We had to stay there. We didn't want it, but we had to stay there. We got jobs. We got a place. We purchased like a motorcycle to drive around the city. A scooter, yes. And at some point, we had a huge debt. Like, unbelievable. I don't know how to say this, because it was a lot of money. We try so many things. We're entrepreneurs. We are all the time looking for new things. And sometimes when you do stuff, well, it doesn't work.
You fail.
You fail and you lose money. But actually, that failure is just an invitation to keep moving forward. Right now, I don't feel that was a failure. That was just part of the process. And I'm getting to the point that we were in Cali, full of debts. And we said, you know what? We have to sell everything. We're going to quit our jobs and we're going to go to the US. We're going to start something different here. Guys, move forward 5, 6 years, 7 years till today. And actually, we paid almost $100K in debts. We started our own travel blog. We went to more than 25 countries. We became digital nomads. We started working on our own company, and it was just because we had that decision, one decision and one action. And that leads to so many things. At that point, we didn't know that we're going to be here talking to you. And this is really special, because that's the journey.
Yeah. When we started our travel blog, we started understanding how this new digital world was working, and we started like discovering how to make money online. But an opportunity came, and it was to work with a corporation, being consultants as project managers and in communications and everything that we knew how professionally to do. And we said, okay, so let's do that. We took that opportunity. But after 2 years, we were really unhappy. You know, we were working together. That has always been a blessing. And we learned a lot working with that company. But we were not happy. That was not at all what we wanted to do. And so what happened is that as soon as we started facing that and sharing, like, you know, I'm feeling this and I feel that I want to change and I want to do something different. And he was exactly on the same page that I was. Immediately, like, our self-doubt came to place to tell us, you're crazy. What are you going to do? You can't. You have to stay where you are. This is a safe place. And back at the time, we were already certified coaches. We were dreaming about doing this business, what we are doing right now. But immediately our inner judge came to say, no. You know how many people would dream about having the job that you have? And it is always going to happen. Every time that you are trying to do something new, every time that you invite change to your life, to your table, immediately your inner judge is going to be triggered, is going to jump, and it's going to tell you, no, 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 no. He's just a guest, let him be, let him move out. He's not invited to live here because you need to be safe.
So this has been like a high-speed roller coaster for us, but I will do it again.
Me too.
No matter how many times, it's just been an amazing journey and an amazing trip.
Yeah.
And I think that right now we're making things happen because we are taking action, and every day is hard. We won't say it's not hard. It's really hard. You see the schedule that we have. Our office is full of things that we have to do, and you see those things, and sometimes it's like, oh my God, it's so many things. It's crazy, and you add to that the fear that you have because we're doing something new. This podcast, this is our second episode, but we feel super grateful. We're really happy to have you here. Just for you. This message is just for you that you're listening to me right now. Thank you for being here. And I want you to laugh and smile right now because you're beautiful and you're perfect.
And you have the power to do everything that you want to do. You know what? This makes me think about the study of a Harvard Business magazine. 84% of people hold on to irrational fear.
84.
That's crazy. So to you that are listening right now to this podcast, where are you standing? On the 84% of people or on the 16% of people that takes action despite the fact of feeling fear? Because remember, everybody feels fear. Whenever I'm going to write a post to publish on Instagram or to publish on the blog, I also feel that. And I sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I suck at this. I should do something else. And then I'm like, you know what? Do it. No matter how much you suck at it, because you can only perfect whatever is already out there. This message is especially meant for all of you guys like me, like Mauro, that we call ourselves perfectionists, because yes, we are all the time trying to put out everything perfect. We want, oh yes, the perfect picture and the perfect post and the perfect whatever, the perfect cake. And you know what, guys? If we just think about it, if we just wonder about it, but we never take it out, we cannot perfect it, because we can only perfect whatever already exists.
So actually, that's the first point, because we always need to get to a point where we say, okay, so what do we do then? We have this fear, we have this uncertainty, we face that dialogue with our inner judge. So what to do? First, you only can perfect or improve what you already created. So you have to do something, you have to start, and then you perfect it. Second option.
Progress, not perfection.
Yes. Or second thing that you should do, persistence. So you have to have consistent action. So if you brought your idea to the market, if you decided to take action and you start looking for the place that you want to live in the next 3 years, you have to keep moving towards that goal. You have to have consistent action. You have to create habits in order for that to happen. So remember, create something and just go out.
Third, focus on the opportunity, not on the obstacle. Obstacle starts with an O as opportunity. We call problems obstacles. So every time that we are facing an obstacle, let's just consider, okay, what is the opportunity this obstacle is putting to my path right now, to my table? What should I be learning from this? What is the invitation that life is doing me right now? If it's in a personal level with a relationship, for example, an evil boss, an evil colleague that you are having, well, the invitation here is what what is the opportunity that I have? Is it to be more compassionate? Is it to be more patient? Is it to be to be able to wear somebody else's shoes? Because yes, I am not telling you guys that there is no evil people in the world. Yes, of course there is. And I don't like to say evil people. I would like to say people that needs more love, you know? But the thing over here is that we can always decide how much I will let a situation affect me. So what is the obstacle? Inviting me to learn, to develop. Because whenever you are learning something new, you are growing. And whenever you're growing, your inner power and your full potential is taking over you. And this is very important because the more you do that, the more your inner judge is gonna lower the dialogue and the yelling and the messages that he's sending to you.
So this take us to emotional intelligence. I know that we have heard this before, and you think about emotional intelligence as something that you learn when you read books about self-empowerment and personal development, but actually you see emotional intelligence every day in your life. If you have someone that reacts at work like out of nowhere and start yelling at people like a crazy boss, or if you have someone in your family or at your house that just start, I don't know, that has like crazy reactions or like irrational reactions, it's because we lack emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence lies on the ability to know ourselves. So what you should do is understand every time you have a situation where you feel fear, every time you have a situation that activates maybe rage or you become angry or sadness
or frustration
or anything. And actually, if you think about also the situations where you feel more joy and happiness, start being aware of that, because those moments and the information that you can get from that is completely powerful for your life, because you have the chance to start getting more about what you like and what you don't, about your values, your identity, the places that you want to be, the environments you want to live in.
Now, what else? Connect with your why. Every time that you are starting something, you gotta have a clear why, a clear reason behind your actions, because that is going to move your needle to point towards the direction of the path that you may follow. If you don't have a clear why, then perhaps this is gonna be just a desire, but you won't put the commitment, you won't put the willpower to do whatever it needs to be done, you know? Remember, this is a roller coaster. So every time that you start something, decide, okay, why am I doing this? If it's to change your career, well, I need to do this because I'm unhappy and I'm here to be happy. And this old career that I chose when I was younger and I didn't know what I wanted, but now I really know what I want, well, that's a very powerful reason. That's going to be like your North Star, okay? It's going to guide you because, friends, we're going to get lost. Every time, this is life. Life is what happens when we are busy doing other plans. So we are going to be distracted looking on our plans and our analytics and everything that we want to do. And of course, we're going to get lost. But whenever we get lost and we realize that we are lost, if we have a clear why, we are going to be able to find again our path. Whatever your why is, just have it really, really clear. Always write it down. I want to do this because. Is it for your kids? Is it for your significant other? For your dog? I don't know. Whatever makes you turn and connect with that willpower and the commitment to take action and keep on your words, that's going to be a fuel to power your actions.
Definitely, you need to find a motivation. So let's say when we decided to leave everything in Colombia and go to the US, the motivation was mainly financial. We needed to solve a financial situation. But actually, after that, when we decided to start the travel blog, we were extremely busy. We were extremely tired at night, but actually Lina was taking time to write down and to start posting and creating everything in the blog. Why? Because she had a huge motivation. It was to stay in touch with our family. And that's something really special. You need to find a motivation in order to keep going. And actually, after that, when we decided to start our own business, it's because we wanted to work together. We wanted to travel, inspire, and leave a mark. And it was so beautiful because you find that motivation and you have the power to move through. And everything is going to change. Vamos Somewhere, our travel blog, then became Empower for Change, which is what we have today. But we won't be here today if it wasn't for Vamos Somewhere. So definitely, you never know where you're going to get, but you're going to get somewhere. And you have to start because that's life. Life is a never-changing process. But if you feel that you've been living the same day for the last, I don't know, maybe 1 year or many years, you don't live 365 days in a year, you live the same day all the time. So if you've been feeling that you need to change, this is the time. And this is the time to take action.
And let me ask you something. Is your inner judge holding you back? Is he or she holding you back from doing whatever new version of you want to create? Is he or she pulling you to stay where you are even though you are unhappy, even though you know you need to change, to reinvent yourself? If the answer is yes, I really invite you to challenge her, to challenge him, and to move. If you are not happy where you are, move. You are not at 3. And I promise you, we promise you, if you keep moving, if you take action, and if you keep moving, you will find your way.
You don't have to speak louder. You have to speak with actions, okay? And that's what we want to give you today. So remember, persistence, keep consistent action. You always improve and perfect what it's already out there, created, and already on the move.
Yeah.
You have the chance to focus on the opportunity rather than on the obstacle. Remember, obstacle begins with an O of opportunity. Keep learning and keep finding ways to develop new skills that you need. Always improve your emotional intelligence. There's many ways to do that. This podcast is one of them, so stay here. And connect with your why, with your motivation, with that thing that is going to help you go through all the way.
We are very happy to be here with you. So let's connect and let's keep sharing insights of the only constant and magic in life, which is change.
If you haven't subscribed right now, click the button and activate the bell so you can get a notification every time we upload a new video. Every week we upload new information every time we post, and we upload new podcasts or a video or something on our social media. So our website, www.empoweredforchange.com, and our social media is at empowered4change.
Talk to you in the next episode.
Bye-bye. Remember, you can find us on many podcast platforms. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and many more. So stay tuned, and we hope to talk to you real soon.